So we have a definitive, untentative champion, Mookiehere, and recently I pitted Tim from Drive Time against Jake from State Farm. The new, sleeker, slightly more black version of Jake from State Farm. Less khaki, but a little more cocky, I would say. But don't let his clout, his budget, his fit, how fit he is, or the indifference of being beloved by all make you think that Tim from Drive Time didn't have his own chance. Because he absolutely did not. Unfortunately, it was a landslide victory for Jake from State Farm, but hardly anybody knows Tim from Drive Time. Anyone who does, I'm pretty sure enjoys his delightful yet deadpan nature in his commercial, but also it's not really his commercial. But Tim from Drive Time is not actually a household name such as Jake from State Farm, but the new Jake from State Farm isn't the one who perpetuated the nostalgia of that oh so forgotten one-time, one-off commercial that we all remember and love.
You do that for me?
That we all quote time and time again. Part of the reason that my wife married me, I think, is because when she answered the phone, she'd be like, "What are you wearing?" And I'd say, "Khakis."
Red sweater, button-down shirt.
Now that delight has even started to wane, but that's neither here nor there and has nothing to do with the new Jake from State Farm, or it might. It could be his fault. Tim from Drive Time first caught my eye when I thought I was going to catch a glimpse under the hood of his hood, under his little green shirt for Drive Time, and not just showing me his real down payment, but his real down pecs.
And your monthly payment all on your phone.
But unfortunately, it was just to reveal another mucus green shirt that Drive Time provided with him, and probably CGI'd on underneath, or CGI'd the first shirt. I'm not sure, but it had a wild budget for being how flawless the shirt reveal, the shirt peel was. I love Tim from Drive Time. His energy, his deadpan but charismatic approach to the viewer, his aggression towards the viewer, his aggression towards the ones that are perpetuating the service of Drive Time, and his just unrelenting quest in letting you know that you will also have your real down payment.
That's a lot.
He was dedicated to showing you your non-negotiable, real down payment for your 100,000 mile plus 2016 Dodge Dart that you needed to get because you just started rebuilding your credit after declaring bankruptcy, thinking that you're gonna get out of paying taxes on the thousands of dollars in unemployment you accrued during the pandemic. Tim goes hard. Tim's got heart. And most of all, it shows that he's passionate about the product, which isn't necessary to win in this game, but for Tim, it certainly helps. Tim had a lot of potential, but unfortunately, nostalgia took the better part of this competition. And most of all, instant recognition for anyone under the banner of Jake from State Farm, no matter the color, creed, or muscle density. Here he is next to Drake during a Super Bowl commercial. Here he is with Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Chris Paul, whoever Chris Paul is. Jake from State Farm, new Jake from State Farm, is lean, mean, a six-pack gleam, and a money-making machine for State Farm, and that's mighty hard to compete with. It also helps him that he's not just some corporate lifeless hire. He is a dedicated actor to his craft, playing Jake from State Farm. Not just playing him, but being Jake from State Farm, which I can imagine can be difficult. I mean, just look how hard it was just to be Gibby from iCarly. That being said, this Jake from State Farm has, I'm sure, exceeded all expectations, even going so far as to make the previous appearance, as I mentioned with Drake, make Drake look downright goofy and dorky compared to him, like if he was the cool dude playing the smooth operator, which Drake's no stranger to being an actor, acting like the odd one out, acting like he's not the one with all the swagger and all the smoothness. But here comes Jake from State Farm, just Jake from State Farm in the khakis, in the red shirt, and he pulls up with Drake with the red shirt, and he's like making him feel smaller for it, or making it feel like he's like, no dude, I'm the OG out here. You started from the bottom somewhere else, and that's not but you're not at the top of this industry. Insurance game is Jake's game.
Stand-ins don't have lines.
If once upon a time, Drive Time was more prevalent of a brand, and their clientele expanded further outside of the recently divorcee who had to give his Audi to his ex, and now had to find a way with no credit and barely any money due to the alimony he's paying to buy a 2012 Chrysler 200. Then maybe, who knows, you'd get Tom Brady with Tim from Drive Time to show up and pick up a used Jeep Grand Cherokee with transmission issues, since what's-her-name, stick figure model lady who left Tom Brady probably took half of every single mansion he's ever owned. So it's with a heavy heart, but with confidence, I have to give this competition to Jake from State Farm. You earned it, buddy. And whoever leaves a comment on this video, as well as who was in the poll to vote for either Tim from Drive Time or Jake from State Farm, all of you will be eligible for the giveaway for the Liquid Death. So don't forget to leave a comment on here. When you comment, feel free to say anything you want, talk about me. Feel free to leave any comment you wish, as long as you leave your Instagram details so I can move it side by side with those who are on Instagram. But even if you didn't comment on the poll, please still leave a comment with your on Instagram so that you could be entered into the contest. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and leave those Instagram details. And for more from us, go to our Linktree details in the description. And for our podcast, you can see the video podcast on the YouTube channel or the audio version through the Linktree link in the description.